Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to today's Tuesday video, which of course is our Sweet and Precious Cards by Mail free card class. So this is the class video that you're going to want to refer to when you get your class kit, your Cards by Mail kit that you'll get for free when you order $50 or more this week, August 18th to the 25th, 2023. I'm going to send you this free 6-card class kit email to you. So we're going to make the 3 cards that you're going to get in the kit. You're going to get 2 of each, so you get to make 6 total cards. You'll have the reference of this video to link back to watch to create your cards. You'll also get a PDF download that has all the written instructions with photographs for you to create the cards as well. So you have your options, right? So I am going back to the start because I got ahead of myself. Welcome to the video. My name is Denise Cox, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Trail, British Columbia, Canada. And today I am posting this video to come live at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I am not live. I have pre-recorded this video because I am at backstage in Las Vegas, Stampin' Up's event for leaders in the company. And I am super excited to be there, but I did not want to miss doing the Cards by Mail free class with you here either. So please say hello, leave me a comment, let me know you're watching. I will be checking the comments during my travels, and so I do want to hear from you, and I will comment back, say hello, and welcome you here as well. Okay, so that's true if you're watching live at 4 p.m. when this video goes live, or if you're catching the replay, okay? So I have the link up here. This will tell you, if you follow this link, it will tell you all of the information about the Cards by Mail class that we are referring to today, how you can earn yours for free. Basically, when you place a $50 order before shipping and tax in my online store using the current host code, which is right there on the screen, you are automatically going to get the Cards by Mail class kit for free, okay? But the host code does need to be there, okay? If you don't put the host code in, you don't get the kit. So make sure you put this host code in there, okay? As soon as I get notification, you get added to my list, and then the kits go out the very early the following week. Normally, they get mailed out on the Monday, but because I'm on travels, it probably won't be till Tuesday this week. But they're coming, and you're going to have 6 fun cards to create. Okay, so we are featuring this week, all week long here, Sweet and Precious Snap Set. This is from the annual catalog. Super adorable images, lots of detail, and lots of fun to be had with the stamp set. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through all 3 cards. The kits that I'm creating from are exactly the same as the kits that you will get in your free Cards by Mail card class. So whatever I have pre-cut, you will have pre-cut unless I say otherwise. Your kits come with everything you need aside from stamped images, which of course you will have to provide your own stamps and ink for, and of course your adhesive. Okay, the only other thing that I don't include in my kits that you will need in this class, we do need a little bit, is linen thread. Okay, so this to me is a staple. It's really hard to include this twine in your kits because it gets all nested up and twisted and yucky, knotted up. So you will be required to have your own linen thread too on this card, okay? So if you have any questions, please ask me in the comments, but let's get to stamping because we have 3 cards to make today and they're super fun and I do want to get them stamped with you. So down to the screen here, let me get this situated so it's nice and straight in the camera. Okay, so we are going to start with card number 1. We are going to create this pretty card here with the pretty peacock card base. So in your kit, you will have, now I'm not going to give you measurements. The measurements will all be included in the PDF that comes with the free class, but I am going to show you how to put these cards all together. So we have a pretty peacock card base. We have a piece of the Glorious Gingham Pretty Peacock Designer Series paper. We have some Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon, a gray granite square, basic white square, and we have 2 pieces of basic white. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this card. We're going to, of course, fold our card base. Then we are going to take one of the basic white pieces here, and we're going to need the leaves. here. So I've got some of these images already mounted, but not all of them. So we're going to need the leaves, and we're going to need Bring on the Cuddles. Not such a sweet sentiment. Bring on the cuddles. Okay. Then we're going to use a Pebbled Path ink on this card. We're going to hold our designer series paper. Now I'm going to switch the banner here on the screen. I'm going to switch it to the host code because this is a code you do need to order, remember, if you want to get this class kit for free. So we're going to take our designer paper here. Now it is eventually going to get adhered across the front, but before we do that, I'm going to take our leaves and I want them to kind of be peeking over the designer paper. So I'm going to position them how I want them, and then I'm going to pull that paper away. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of stamp them along that same kind of line. It's okay if they're a little bit off. And then I'm going to stamp one up here. Okay. Close that up for now. Then we're going to take our lemon lime twist. So I do have an array of blends over here, and you do need a few different colors to create the cards the way that I have. But for now, we'll go through each color. These are lemon lime twist, and I am just going to color these leaves. I'm not doing a lot of shading. Right now I'm just using the dark, and as you can see, I'm coloring most of the leaves in with the dark. Oops, I went out the lines there. But we are going to leave some. So basically I'm just going to alternate. Some are going to be colored dark and some are going to be colored light. Now you could get really fancy and you could come in and you could blend all of these individual leaves. And of course it would add some depth to your image as well. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just coloring them solid with each individual dark or light. Okay, so there we have the dark ones, and then I'll come in with the light and just finish up that coloring. Okay, so we stamped with Pebbled Path, and now we are coloring in with Lemon Lime Twist. If you don't have Pebbled Path, you could, of course, use Memento if you have the black. That would work too. It would just be a little bit more stark contrast to the colors. Okay, so there we have our leaves colored in. Oh, I missed one right here. Now we can take our designer paper and we're going to attach that across. I hesitated there because I thought for a minute that I was adhering the wrong side, but no, I want the plaid on this front of this card. Okay, so going across. Now my piece is a little bit long, so I'm just going to turn it over and trim off that excess with my paper snips here. Okay. Then I'm going to take my bordered ribbon, my Lost Lagoon, and it is Lost Lagoon, but look how beautiful it looks with the pretty peacock. So we're going to take that, we're going to put it across where the designer paper meets, flip it over and just adhere that on the back. Like that. And then of course we're going to trim off this excess. And you guess it, we're going to have a bow on the front, or not if you prefer. It doesn't have to be a bow. Then we can go ahead and we can attach this whole piece to our card front. Peel off that, so that's extra adhesive we can use. Okay. All right, then we're going to take our squares here. So we've got gray granite and basic white. We're going to take the basic white again with our Pebbled Path ink, and we are going to stamp Bring on the Cuddles directly here on the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to take the cute little sloth image. Again, we're going to color this or stamp this with Pebbled Path. Sure it's all inky. There we go. And we're going to put that here on the square above our sentiment that we just created. Oh, so cute. Okay. So now we're going to color just a little bit on here as well. So again, we're going to tie the leaves in with the leaves we stamped on the background there. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to color some in with dark here. And some will be in the light. Most of them are going to be dark. Let's just color those in. Of course, if you don't have blends, you could use your Stampin' Write markers. You could use watercolor pencils, whatever you prefer to color with. But I love our blends because they're just so easy and vibrant. And they look beautiful. They really do make anybody look like a professional colorer. Okay, so there's our leaves. And then we're going to use pecan pie. And we're going to color in the trunk or the branches here of the tree. Now I'm just going to use my dark. I don't think I need to do anything else shading wise on this one. I'm just following the branches all the way down. This image is just so adorable. Okay, so there we have that. And then I've got my my gray granite markers here. And I'm going to take the light. Now I'm doing this opposite as I normally would. Normally I would do the dark and then highlight in with the light. But now, did I just grab, oh yeah, this is light. Oh, but this is smoky slate. Okay, well, too late now. I intended for this to be gray granite, but it's smoky slate. So use whichever one you like. Gray granite is a little bit lighter. So that was my intention, but when I prepared for the video here today, I brought the wrong ones into my videoing room. So that's okay. No wrong in paper crafting. We just improvise, right? All right, so hopefully this is dark. Oh, see, now this is going to be a real mixture. I've got light smoky slate and dark gray granite. So I really mucked it up there, but that's okay. We can blend the two together. We're just basically coloring our sloth in gray. It looks quite cute, these two colors together, actually. With a little bit of a highlight. There we go. Now, I could have left the faces white too, but that's okay. So now we're going to adhere this piece, onto our gray granite square. And it's just going to have a wee bit of a border. Okay. Then we'll take that and we're going to grab some dimensionals. So you will need to have your own dimensionals to create these cards, but so far everything else I've used product-wise will be in your kit. So remember, the kit that I'm creating from the pieces I have are exactly what you will get in your kit. Okay. So let's go ahead and we can stick our sloth on here. Now you're covering up some of the leaves. So if you wanted to, you could cut, you could have just colored the ones you needed, but I find it easier because you never know where that square is going to end up. So there we have that. And then we're going to take our remaining piece of Lost Lagoon ribbon. I'm going to tie a small little bow or a knot. If you're not a bow person, then just tie a little knot around the ribbon right here. I don't think I left myself quite enough ribbon here. So your piece in your kit will be longer. I'm learning from this mistake here. This is too small for a bow. So I'm going to try one more time. And if it doesn't work, we're just going to go with a knot. Keep it simple. You don't always have to have fancy bows. Oh my gosh. Okay, bow it or knot it is. I will show you my other sample card has the bow. So you'll see both and you can decide which way you like it. But here we'll just tie the nice bow or nice knot right there across. Of course, we'll trim these off. And like I said, your ribbon will be, I'll be a little more generous with your ribbon so you do have enough to create the bow if that is what you prefer. Okay, so there is card. Oh, no, we got to add some dimension, some bling. So your card will also, your card kit will not include the embellishments, but remember you are going to get a free pack, a free surprise, which could be some embellishments in your kit if you order $75 or more. So I am going to add these 2023, 2025 in color dots to mine. Use whatever you have in your collection. You're going to have something that is going to look fabulous on this card for sure. So I'm just showing you a sample, and I like these in color dots there. The gray kind of ties all together here with the Pebbled Path ink that we used. So that is card number 1. All we need to do is add in our inside. And of course, do some stamping on it beforehand, not like I just did, if you want to attach it to the inside of the card. So I do not like a naked inside for my card. So let's quickly just maybe stamp some leaves in the corners. Oops. Oh, great. Let's see if we can line that up. Probably not. Nope, that just made a bit of a mess. So that's okay. Don't do that. We can color it up. What I'm going to do is probably just, I don't know what I'm going to do on there. Maybe cut out some, I don't have any scrap paper with me, but I will probably stamp that again and cut them out and stick it up on there. So we won't worry about that little mock-up. Don't do that. Of course, it happens to the best of us, right? Let's color these leaves green real quick. I'm not going to fuss with those ones up there in the corner. Because I will fix those before I send these to anybody, of course. Okay, there we have it. There is card number 1. Here is the other original sample with the bow. And on this one, I did use the gray granite and I left the faces white. So you can see the difference. You can choose which ones you like the best. I am partial to the leaving the white. And I'm not sure between the bow and the knot. They both look very good. So there is card number 1 in today's Cards by Mail card class. So now on to card number 2. So card number 2, here we're going to have a bunch of pieces as well. So we've got a basic black card base. We've got a panel of Old Olive. We've got a panel of basic white. Some wild wheat. We've got 2 pieces of Zoo Crew or Zany Zoo Designer Series paper. This is the cute background, but we're going to focus on the black and white patterns today. We've got a strip here of wild wheat textured ribbon, a deckled rectangle die cut from basic white. This will be included, already cut out for you. And then we've got just a little piece here of basic white as well. So let's create this card. Fold and burnish the card base. We are going to layer our large panel of designer paper onto the Old Olive cardstock. Just like that. And then we can go ahead and attach this to the front of our card. Okay, there is that. Now on the deckled rectangle is where we're going to do our stamping. And for this one, we just need our Memento ink. And then of course, we're going to use some of our blends. So for this one, we're going to use the giraffe. Get this all nicely inked up. And we're going to put this on here like that. Okay, then we're going to take our leaves, and let me just give those a quick clean because we did use them with Pebbled Path. Okay, so clean those off. Now we've got our nice and clean leaf stamp, and we're going to use some Memento, and we're just going to stamp some leaves kind of in to tie this all together here. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of coloring. We're going to once again use green for our leaves, but this time we're going to switch to Old Olive to tie it in with the Old Olive cardstock we used here. And then we're going to use wild wheat to color in our giraffes. And then we're going to use a bit of crumb cake to do the inside of their ears. So we're going to start with the leaves. And this time I am going to do a little bit more detail. I'm going to go dark on one side of the leaves for the most part. And then we'll do light on the opposite side. And that just gives them a little bit more interest, a little more depth to the coloring. So remember, the cards that I'm sharing here today are part of my free Cards by Mail card class. You will get 2 of each of the cards we're creating to make on your own for free when you place a $50 order before shipping and tax on my online store. And you can get to that by createwithbirdsnest.ca/shop. Enter the host code that's there on the screen for you, and you're going to get this class kit for free. Okay, so you'll need to include your own stamps, your own ink, adhesive, linen thread, all those things, but all of the cardstock pieces and designer series paper, the ribbon will be included. You'll need your own embellishments too, of course. You'll get a PDF to download and work from, or you can refer back to this video. Now, so I'm going to color now just with the old olive. I almost said wild wheat. That's not wild wheat. It's old olive. Just highlighting in and finishing coloring the leaves with the light here. Now the colors I'm using are just what I used on my samples. Of course, you can always switch it out to whatever you want. Make it your own. Have fun with it and just play with different colors. So there's our leaves. Now for the giraffe, we're going to use wild wheat, as I mentioned. Oops. I don't know about you guys, but I prefer the thick, more paintbrushy end. Ooh, for a minute, I thought that wasn't the right color. So I'm just going kind of around the marks here with the dark. Anywhere that they have shading is where I'm coloring with the dark. Okay. Do the same up here on his mama, or maybe it's a papa. You never know, right? I don't know much about giraffes, so I'm not sure. Here we go. Okay, so again, just highlighting along the lines that Stampin' Up has already given us in this beautiful stamp set. Probably looks like I'm scribbling. I am just following the lines. There's no real rhyme or reason here. Okay, and then we'll come in with the light wild wheat and just fill this whole image in. And as you color over those marks you did with the dark, it's going to all blend beautifully together. Okay. Okay, there's that. And then, like I mentioned, we're going to use some crumb cake. So I've got the light crumb cake. Oh, I forgot this part of the ear here. We're going to color the inside of the ear with light crumb cake. And there is our giraffes all finished. So now I'm going to take this beautiful ribbon we have here and I'm going to put it across the bottom. And tear tape is what I'm looking for. So we're going to tear off a piece of tear tape. We're going to situate this right below the little baby's nose there. Stick that on the back. Now for this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it off. Make sure it's straight across the front. I'm going to have to trim that a bit. And then I'm going to stick it this way because I don't have a lot of room that way. As you'll see, this one already came off the edge. So I'm just going to kind of follow the contours in that paper and cut that off. Okay. So this piece now is going to get layered on to the wild wheat cardstock. Peel off that. We can use that adhesive and then just put a little bit of seal up here on the top. Layer this on like that. And then we're going to take our ribbon here. Again, if you choose, you can tie a bow. This one I intended for it just to be a simple knot right here. So we're going to trim that off. Oops. This one too. Don't like the way that one cut. It kind of got away from me there. Oh, I did it again. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we've got that done. Then we're going to pull in our card base. We're going to flip this over and add a few dimensionals to the back. We're almost done. We're going to do something fun with the sentiment for this card. Okay. Oops. You're going to center this, the center of your designer series paper. Like that. And then remember, we've got one more little piece here. We're going to take our memento and we're going to pull in the sentiment here. I'm always here for you. So that's from the Sweet and Precious stamp set. Put that on a block. That in the center. And then we're going to take our paper snips and we're going to cut this apart. So if you're really fussy, then of course use your paper trimmer. But I think it's going to be fine just to cut it with my scissors here. We're going to cut the words apart. So we've got I'm, always, here, and then we'll leave for you. I believe we're going to use for you all as one. We're going to leave those two together. Okay. So for this, you'll probably want to use some mini dimensionals if you have them, or do what I'm going to do here and just cut off of the edge of your larger ones. So I'm going to take the I'm. We're going to stick that up here in the tight, up into the corner. And then we'll take always. Again, we're going to take a little snip from the side here. We'll put always down here like this. Then we'll take the here. We're going to take another little bit of these edgings. I never waste any part of my dimensionals. You guys should know that because I go through so many that I use every little bit and piece I can. So we'll put here up here on the leaves. And then lastly, we'll just add the for you below that. Again, we're just going to cut off a couple of those little dimensional edges. If you want your mini dimensionals, of course, use those because they will fit perfectly as well. But there we have our card. We're going to add a little bit of bling. Again, I've got my 2325 in color dots. If you have these, they do match perfectly. But anything will work that you have in your collection. So just find something that you love, put it on, and it'll look wonderful. Okay. I like everything in threes when it comes to embellishments. So these little guys are a little tricky. Woohoo, there we go. There is card number 2. Oh, we can't forget the inside. So remember that last little bit of designer paper we had here? We're going to attach that to the bottom of this basic white piece. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to attach that to the inside of our card number 2. No naked inside on this one. We don't need to stamp, but of course, feel free to add whatever stamped images you want here. There is card number 2. Here is my sample. We didn't stray very far from that one. So there is our second card. Remember, you're going to have 2 of each, so you get to make 2 of these. Okay, last card, let me just tidy up a little bit of this. Got a bit of bits and pieces and a bit of a mess here. All right. So card number 3. This one might be my favorite, although I do like them all. But this one I think is really fun. It's a little bit more bright. Just super fun. All right. This is what you will have in your kit. You're going to have a basic white card base, a panel of Misty Moonlight, a piece of boho blue that is embossed with the 3D rope embossing folder, or twisted rope embossing folder. Can you guys see that? You can kind of see it in the video there. There you go. So it's already going to be embossed for you. So for that, we've got a piece of the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper, a tailored tag die cut out of basic white, a piece of boho blue textured ribbon, and a little strip of Misty Moonlight. So let's go ahead and create this final card in the Cards by Mail class. This class is available to earn for free with your $50 order through my online store from August 18th through to August 25th, 2023. So don't miss out. If this is a class that you're interested in, get that order placed so I can send you one of these free fun kits. So first things first, we're going to take the embossed piece and we're going to take our Countryside Inn paper. You could use either side. I like the smaller pattern here on this one. So I'm going to put that right here across a little bit below center. Okay, and then we're going to layer that onto the Misty Moonlight cardstock. And we are going to use a lot of blue, as you can tell already in this card, but it turns out fabulous. Okay, then we can go ahead and attach this right to the center of our card. Now this card comes together super quick and easy, and like I said, it's probably my favorite in the whole class. All right, so there we have that on the center of our card. Okay, we'll put it off to the side, and then we're going to take and do a little bit of stamping here. So on our tag, we're going to take Memento ink. So for this one, you'll need Memento and Misty Moonlight. We're going to then take our penguins. We haven't used them, so I'm sure you guessed that's what we'd be using on the third card. We're going to stamp them a little bit closer to the top of the tag. Okay, like that. Set it off to the side for a second. We're done with that ink. Then we'll pull in Misty Moonlight. Now, if you don't have Misty Moonlight and you don't want to add it to your order right now, then you could use the black here as well. But we're going to use the sentiment, appreciating all you do, right here. And I'm just going to grab another block. And we'll get Misty Moonlight ink onto Misty Moonlight paper, which is always a fun look. Okay. So that's that. That is all the stamping we're doing on this cute card. You can see the sentiment there. Now for this one, we're going to add just a wee bit of color to the neck of the penguin using some pumpkin pie and some Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to start with the dark pumpkin pie and just do a little bit of a kind of edging here. Not a lot, just a little bit of the orange. Then we'll come in with the light pumpkin pie. Blend that out just a wee bit. Okay, like that. Then we're going to switch to Daffodil Delight Dark and go in a bit more. And you can see I'm going all the way up to the top from the right from the dark orange down. It kind of blends it all in together. And finally, we'll get a little bit of the light Daffodil Delight and just kind of push that color down just a wee bit longer, further into the neck like that. And that's it. That's all we're going to color on that one. I think it turned out beautifully. Okay, so now what we want to do, you are going to need a wee bit of linen thread from your collection. So we're going to pull out a bit of linen thread here. Maybe a bit more than that. Okay, we've got the piece of boho blue. This will be in your kit. We're going to take and pull that through the little hole at the top of the tag. Fold your ribbon in half. And then what I like to do is just sort of put, well, we're going to tie this around to secure it in place. So I'm going to hold my bone folder over that to keep it in place. And then I'm going to tie my linen thread. Okay, so once it's tied like that, then the bone folder is not as important to sit there. We'll tie that in a cute little bow. So fun. Linen thread's one of my favorite things. Okay, so we'll deal with the ends in a minute. We're going to pull in our card, and on the back of this, we are going to put some stamping dimensionals. Okay, and it looks like we're going to need to cut off a few more ends here. Like that. And like that. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and place this down here in the center. So we're centering on the boho blue, a little bit of spacing here on the bottom, not a lot. Right there, centered like so. Okay. Now our cute little sentiment that we made, we are going to dimensional that across the top. So I'm going to put dimensionals in the center. Right there, okay? In the center, but not off to the side. I don't want the dimensionals going on here. I want them only to be placed here. And then I'm going to situate this sentiment so that it is kind of below the penguins and centered horizontally. Like that. We'll come in and we'll trim the ribbon. Now, if the ribbon goes beyond just top of your card, it's not a big deal because ribbon is flexible. It'll fold. You can push it down when you're putting it in your envelope. So I don't worry about that. That is fine to stay just the way it is up here. Okay, so that is card number 3. Here is my original sample right there. So let me show you one more time all of the cards that you will get in the Cards by Mail Sweet and Precious class when you order $50 or more in my online store and use the code right there on the screen, okay? So you're going to get, there is card number 3. Here was card number 2 that we created. And here is card number 1. So you're going to get to make all 6 of these cards in your Class by Mail card kit. So don't forget to get your order in, $50 or more, before shipping and tax, using the host code here on the screen before midnight on August 25th. Okay, thank you for being here and stamping along with me. I hope that you enjoyed today's free class. I hope that you enjoyed the cards and that you are falling in love, if you aren't already, with the Sweet and Precious stamp set. The imagery is just so, so sweet. And I love all of that detail that Stampin' Up! Has included, the artist has included in the stamp set. Makes it really easy to create with. One more time, I'm going to pop the code up here, or the link up here, how you find all of the information, all of the details, all the ins and outs, and how it works for the Cards by Mail class each week. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. And I will be back next Tuesday live at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I will be back from my holiday if all goes well. And here stamping with you live. So until then, have a fabulous day. And don't forget, come back on Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm going to have a fancy fold card recording for you, again, using the Sweet and Precious. So extend your class kit and give you an idea from yesterday's video and Friday's for 2 more cards that you can create with this stamp set. So until then, have a wonderful day, happy stamping, and thank you so much for being here. Stay safe, stay cool.